Greetings, this is a quick update because we've got a pretty unusual situation. Well, I say unusual, I haven't seen anything like this in the few years I've been in Sapporo. We've got a Supercell thunderstorm offshore. It's about 60 kilometers from the Shakotan Peninsula. Sapporo is in here, so I'm about there. The meteorologics does have a ton of lightning on this storm. You can see how it's separate from the other storms. In classic supercellular style, so deviating to the right. This is the radar loop showing the storm here. As I follow it along, you'll see definitely that sort of classic supercellular sort of spreading out of the plume towards the end, possible even hook at times. So I mean, it could be tornadic, could be large hail, definitely a lot of lightning and strong winds. We've got the 2.5 minute Himawari 8 loop. Let me load it up. So putting it side by side, there's the storm in there, and then on the zoomed in radar it's this one coming in like that. So one of the things you can see is the strong shear because the low clouds are moving up kind of like a bit more like this, maybe a bit more like that. Then mid and upper level is getting shot off in this direction in the upper level jet. So that's causing the shear and rotation in this supercell. This shows the convective available potential energy, so showing where the atmosphere is more unstable. You can see the area around now, which is in the windy TV ECMWF output, 500 in some areas, quite a large area actually. The main thing is, and you see the southerly winds picking up and going in the storms, so that's bringing up in moisture into the storms. But what the thing is that if you right click and do a sounding, this is when things get a bit more interesting. Actually, you know what, this sounding is kind of not very good, but it does show you the winds increasing. I'll put up tropical tidbits because that has a better sounding. Quickly looking at the rain and thunder, you'll see the thunderstorms are being predicted by the ECMWF, and as we go through the night they're moving in somewhat. I'm hoping for something over Sapporo, but I'm going to get my cameras out and try and get some lightning pictures later. Tropical tidbits is good for getting a sounding. If you go up, and then I go into Hokkaido over here and then tuck it in just ahead of where these storms are, and then click and it'll give you a sounding. And the sounding will show you the wind profile as you go up through the troposphere. And you can see the classic shifting from southeasterlies to this turning of the wind, and then you can see it's 40 knots at 600 millibars going up to 50 knots. So this is a very this is a favorable shear profile even for potential tornadoes, and it comes out in the storm relative humidity 0 to 3 kilometers of 201, which is pretty decent, certainly supercellular favorable. The convective energy in this particular sounding isn't very high, pretty low, only 200, but this is dependent on the location of where that plume of instability is. So anyway, this is pretty unusual for the Sea of Japan. So I'm gonna check back later, I think.